Hello everyone, I'm Antony Villain. I'm in charge of Design Alpine. And it's a pleasure for me to present you the new A110 with David Twohig, Chief Engineer.
Hello everybody.
So before going to the car, I want to just make a little story about the history of Alpine. It comes from Jean Redélé. He was a driver and its pleasure was really to drive into the tight corners, into the mountains, the Alps roads. And the story is starting really from that. And the main car and the iconic car from Alpine is a Berlinette A110 from the 60s. It was a real winner on a lot of race everywhere, worldwide. And it was, the DNA of the brand is about agility. It was a lightweight car and it was very easy to drive and it was a real pleasure on all these roads. So we think that today most of the sports cars are pretty heavy, powerful, and missing a product like the A110. That means a lightweight car, agile, really focused on pleasure to drive. So first, we make a tour of the car just to present you the design cues and the philosophy of the design for the A110. So the first thing is the front end. And one characteristic of the A110 from the 60s was the additive headlamps and the 4 lamps. So we have done a reinterpretation of these 4 lamps with the lighting signatures. And of course, we can notice the character line, which is running in the front of the car. And there is a V and there is a Alpine written on the front. When you go on the side, the philosophy is form follows function. So for instance, this detail is a wind curtain. So that means the air is going into this slot and it's going out and reduce the turbulence in front of the wheel. After, when you turn around, you see, of course, the nice, really nice blue. Very sleek car, very pure. And we play a lot with the contrast in between the body, which is really sleek, and all the detail, very sharp wheels, for instance, forged wheel, lightweight performance. And we can also notice the nice brakes and calipers inside. So we play with this contrast. When we go on the body side, you can notice the character line on the side that really, it's a way really to remove materials, to remove any redundant weight. We want to really keep the body as close as possible to the technique. When we go on the back, so you see this line is going down, we have a really nice stance, typical Alpine stance, low back end, wide, very pure. No spoiler, nothing. And to achieve that, we wanted to keep the car very pure. We have worked with the engineering team, all the aerodynamics underneath. We have a full flat floor and we have a diffuser starting somewhere here, so a very efficient one. And the good thing is we can keep this sleek body and achieve all the downforce with the diffuser underneath. So that's the main characteristic of the car in terms of design, but I let David explain you all the architecture.
So everybody who knows about Alpine's history knows Alpines were always light and always agile. So we've talked a lot about the weight of this car, but it's normal because we're really proud to achieve a curb weight of 1,080 kilograms with all fluids. And this particular car, this is a Première edition with some of the nice options that we have on the Première edition. It's just 23 kilograms heavier at 1,103 kilograms. So how did we achieve that? The first thing you can probably see here on the screen, the car is really compact. It's very short, 4.18 meters long, just 125 high. And it's true, it's got quite wide shoulders, good stance, 1.8 meters wide. The second driver was using lightweight materials throughout. So the car is 100% aluminium, the platform and the upper body. And Antony talked about unnecessary kilograms. Well, there aren't any on this car. We've really eliminated all the fat. Every system, every function is optimized. So we're getting kilograms and grams out of everywhere. We talked a little bit about those fantastic Autofux rims, but we can see behind them the braking system is interesting. For example, we have bi-material braking discs with a steel braking surface, but an aluminium center hat, and that saves us quite a lot of weight. Could also talk about the rear calipers on the car that we developed with Brembo, with the world's first integrated parking brake actuator built into the caliper, saving us 2.5 kilograms. And there's lots of examples like that. Huh? Now, reducing the weight of the car is obviously important, but we're also proud on the way we've positioned the masses in the car so that it really works with the driver and not against the driver. And the best example of that is the weight split between the front and rear axles. We've managed to achieve the perfect weight split, 56% on the rear, 44% on the front, and really that's through the major architectural choices we made. Mid-rear engine, but mounting the fuel tank up front. So putting the fuel tank up front allowed us to get a little bit more mass on the front axle and get that perfect weight split. We already mentioned the platform, and it's important to say that this is a new platform. Very few parts on this are carryover from existing cars, and we've had really a very rare opportunity to design the front and rear axles from a blank sheet of paper. So we've been able to put double unequal length wishbones on the front and rear axles, which gives us just a incredible ride and really good comfort as well. We could say a lot more about the exterior of the car, Antony, but I suggest let's get into it and show the folks the inside.
Just a few words about the engine.
Good point. The engine. Let's talk about what's under the hood here. We have a 1.8 litre 4-cylinder engine, mid-rear engine, 250 horsepower, 320 newton meters, and that gives us really good power to weight ratios with the mass of the car coming in at just a little bit over the ton. It's driving the rear wheels through a Getrag 7-speed gearbox. Wet clutch, basically it's the latest technology from Getrag, really good gearbox with really good shift speeds. I was impatient to get into the car. Let's go for it.
So we are now inside the car. So first of all, to really enter into the car, it's really easy, really easy access. We wanted the car to be used every day. So it was a key point in the design of the cockpit. Secondly, when you really sit in the car, we have a focus on the driver position. Really comfortable seats, but very lightweight, 13 kilos, done with a sabelt, still comfortable. Small diameter steering wheel, TFT cluster 10 inches with 3 modes. I will come back to the mod just after. So the philosophy to design the interior is really to remove materials and to display real materials. So I have, for instance, for the seats and the central console, we are really showing the aluminum structure, removing material inside, and we keep the leather, nice quality, on everywhere we have a comfort zone or place we can touch, and we just end the composition with this sporty flavor, with details like the carbon on these parts and on the cap, and some switches, sporty switches also, that gives a very good ambience into the car. Going back to the 3 modes, we have a button here. We can push and switch to 3 different graphics, but of course, there is not only the graphics which is changing, David.
Absolutely. So at the same time the display is changing, we're changing the vehicle characteristics. So here we're in what we call the sport mode, where we've got a more modern digital style display, but we've also got a little bit more weight in the steering. The throttle and gearbox maps are more aggressive, suiting a sporty type driving style. And we've opened the active valve in the exhaust system. So the car's going to make let's say a more sporty type of sound. Then if we want to pass in the next mode. Okay, so now we're in track mode. So now we can see that the display is inspired by, steering wheels of modern F1 cars. Again, we've got a more aggressive throttle map, more aggressive gear shift map, and also the electronic stability control system allows us a little bit more slip angle, so we can slide the car, which is completely normal. This is an Alpine, no? And just while we're talking about stability control, so we also have this little button on the dashboard here. So when I press this button, wow, all electronic stability controls are off. It's up to the pilot. It's between the hands of the pilot.
Well, this is the end of the presentation. If you want or need more information, don't hesitate to register on alpinecars.com. And it was a pleasure to do this presentation with David today. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Antony. Thank you, everybody. See you soon.
See you soon.